vitamin, and it helps you go big and strong.
What makes you think so?
Because it tells you on television. Please, Mom. Please, Mom. Please.
When will you ever learn?
You have just witnessed the power of a great actor, me. I, Rodney Weatherbottom, am a great actor because I can make you want something that you didn't want before. My latest, greatest starring role is in behalf of this, delicious cereal. I am an actor in television commercials. Want to see?
Oh, Supergoop, Supergoop. Get your sweetest Supergoop. Eat it up and loop-the-loop. Sweetest super duper goop. Oh, Supergoop, Supergoop. How I love my Supergoop. Loop-the-loop, whoop-de-doop. Sweetest Supergoop. Get your sweetest Supergoop. It's fun. Oh, rather good performance, don't you think? If you only knew how we work to bring you this, magnificent new cereal. We start with this cereal, which is not so good, because the factory has taken most of the food values out. And then I put in lots and lots of sugar. Yeah. Then it's extremely necessary to put back in a little of the food values that the factory has taken out. The advertising has got to say how big, how strong, how nourishment it makes the kiddies. So, yeah. Delicious.
Rodney! Hey, Rodney!
Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Where is it? Where is it? You're holding up production.
Oh, right here, sir, right here. Just let me, a box. Put it in
No
here.
one's gonna buy a cereal in a little box like that. What's the matter with you?
Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir. How about this, Chief?
Not enough cereal. That's better. Lots of air. Big box. Makes kids think they're getting more for their money.
All right, yes, sir. Very important.
Now the test.
The test?
The test.
Oh, yes, sir, the test. Oh, the test, yes. Oh, the test. Oh, here, let me give you the test. Oh, here's the test.
Delicious. Great. More sugar than anything on the market. Gonna wipe out the competition. Make a fortune. Congratulations, kid. Don't just stand there. Get out and market that product. Great idea. Make a fortune. Tons of dough.
Hey, baby, can use you.
But cheapers, mister. Oh, golly, mister.
Out, or I'll call the cat.
Oh, golly, Mr. Goody.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Mice. Dreadful little creatures. Rodney Weatherbottom. Charlie. How goes it, old boy? Same old stuff. Buy a little, sell a lot, you know. There you are. A new cereal. You and I are going to make a TV commercial. Yummy. You don't think all that sugar might cause an epidemic of tooth decay? Nonsense. Kiddies will gobble it as long as they have a tooth left in their heads. All right. What'll we call it? Something that'll make them want to buy it. Super something. Supergoop. Fantastic. Supergoop, make a fortune. Can't you hear those kiddies now? Please, Mommy, buy me some Supergoop, huh? We'll make everybody in the country want something they wouldn't touch if it weren't for our TV commercial. Okay, now, Rotto, let's see.
Kids buy anything a superhero tells them to. I've got it. Suppose you play Super Cat.
All right.
Watch this.
He's what? Cornered the world supply of Supergoop? Chief, this means that children no longer can have their delicious, nutritious, super sweet Supergoop. We can't let him get away with that, Chief. Right, Chief? What do you think?
Not bad. Not bad. But let's see if we can make kids really want this stuff. Want it, huh? Let's say you're a kid watching TV. Now, kids want a lot of things, right? I mean, they want to be popular, huh?
Gee, yeah. I want people to like me.
Right. Eat Supergoop and people will like you. I mean, what else do you want, huh?
I want to grow fast.
And you want to be stronger than the other kids.
Oh, and I want to be smarter.
All you have to do is eat Supergoop and you can be all those things.
Really?
No, dummy. We just tell kids that.
Oh.
And then they'll ask their mothers to buy the stuff. And we all get rich, Rotto. Now, let me just think. The perfect TV commercial.
Watch this one.
Eat Supergoop. It gives you energy. It makes you grow. Big, big, big.
Think we're overdoing it a little? Rodney, kids don't actually grow faster because they eat this.
Really? Don't they?
No, we just say they do.
Oh.
So we can't show them growing that fast. I mean, it would be dishonest.
Well then, how about this?
Can I play? Nah. You want to use my scuba diving outfit? Nah. Want to play with my rocket that I got for my birthday? Nah. Oh, please, Gerald. Can I have some of your Supergoop, please? Please? Huh? Oh, please.
We're getting there, pal. Eat Supergoop and you'll be popular. The envy of every kid on the block.
Gee, you're lucky. Eating Supergoop every day.
Gotta get in something about muscles.
And eating Supergoop makes you so strong.
And we have gotta have a prize in the package.
A prize?
False teeth. Haw, haw.
With all that sugar, they'll need 'em, boy.
And there's gotta be music, so it'll sound exciting.
Right.
And don't forget, it's sweet.
Right.
And it'll end this way.
Oh, Supergoop, Supergoop. Get Get your sweetest super goop. Eat it up and loop-de-loop. Sweetest super duper goop. Oh, super goop, super goop. How I love my super goop. Loop-de-loop, whoop-de-doop. Sweetest super goop. Get your sweetest super goop. It's fun.
Fantastic. I can hear it now. No, Isabel, you may not. Mommy, please. Please buy me some super goop, Mommy. Please.
Come on, kids, you're going to be late for school.
Mom, there's a new cereal out.
Oh, no. No more new cereals.
And it's called Eat 'em, Sweet 'em.
Not until you finish the Super Goop and the other 6 kinds I got for you.
Oh, Mom, don't you want us to grow big and strong? And we get a prize.
Come on. Off to school.
If you get it for us now, we'll be the first ones to have it.
Come on. Off to school.
Oh, they've just seen my very latest TV commercial. Watch your TV sets, folks, for my great performance selling Eat 'em, Sweet 'em. Also, I do a magnificent job of selling cupcakes, vitamins, and toys. Don't forget, kids, I can make you want things you don't need and never even heard of before.
Wow, that was great. Such a great film. Hey, I'm Skip Elsheimer of AV Geeks. Welcome to our lunchtime screening that we've been holding for people that are shut in, giving them a break, something to do while they eat lunch, besides looking at the news. So that last film, Super Goop, is it's one of my favorites because it's from this time in the 70s when there were quite a few educational films that were teaching children to see through advertising and to really be wary of the claims of advertising. And that those types of films kind of went away in the 80s and non-existent in the 90s. So kind of commercial or advertising literacy is really something that I think we need nowadays. But what's glorious about that film, Super Goop, is it basically kind of shows behind the scenes in a funny way, like how cereal producers make children's cereal and advertise. And what I discovered is I did a project where I digitized a bunch of cereal commercials for Archive, and actually saw the history of Sugar Bear, like the first Sugar Bear commercials towards the end in the late 80s. I also saw the history of Crest, the history of Charmin. I've seen every single Mr. Whipple commercial. But what is fascinating to me is that I believe the cereal companies approach the advertising agencies and say, come up with an idea of a cereal for us to sell. And so it's actually very different than a cereal company saying, we have this cereal, come up with a way to advertise it. It got to the point where, you could, like they were saying in Super Goop, you could just process grain, usually corn, and add some sugar to it and extrude it in a shape, add some vitamins, and we can call it whatever we want, and we can give it whatever name we want based on the shape. And so in the 70s, probably 60s, 70s, we went through a golden period of crappy cereals with amazing advertising, and then from that time period, we all wax nostalgic for that. for that time period. The sugar golden times. Anyways, so I collect old films and I show them to folks like you, and sometimes talk about what we're watching. And so thank you for joining us. A lot of us have time at home, and I figured that we could show leisure time. It's not really leisure time if you can't really go out and hang out with people, but this is so foreign and a strange film. Anyways, this was made by Julian Bryan, who was a educational filmmaker, kind of documentarian, travel guy, and he did several films about Russia and the Soviet Union back when it wasn't cool to do that, and was doing these educational films to try to show, like, the Soviet Union, it's filled with a lot of people, and let's document what those people do. So this one's called Leisure Time USSR, and it doesn't have the traditional footage of a bunch of people waiting in line for toilet paper. So here we go, Leisure Time USSR. Enjoy.
It was the worker who paid the terrible price for Soviet industrial and economic progress. The price paid with staggering work hours, impossible production quotas, scant wages. Yet within a single generation, shorter working hours and higher living standards have confronted Soviet society with that ironic 20th century dilemma, the challenge of leisure time. The idea of leisure time is still new to Soviet Russia, a welcome luxury with uncertain meaning. To sports fans, a soccer game is just a pleasant way to spend an afternoon. But the government uses sports to influence and organize public opinion, to rally enthusiasm, and build morale for the state. Sports are considered so important to the nation's image that the government fully subsidizes the best athletes, who in turn symbolize Soviet prowess both at home and in peaceful competition with other nations. As his leisure hours increase, the ordinary citizen has more time for purely private amusement. Unable to afford a car, living in extremely crowded quarters, a Russian is apt to find entertainment and a social life away from home. Moscow's exhibition of economic achievements, an elaborate showcase for Soviet technology, is a popular place for a Sunday stroll. Russians are not only proud of their nation's accomplishments, they are fascinated by science and technology. Countless novels and films glamorize science and engineering, making these vital professions popular with thousands who take adult education courses in their leisure hours. Leisure is also a time to forget technology and ideology, a time in spite of ice and snow just to go fishing. As much as 75% illiterate half a century ago, Russia today is a nation of avid readers. Books are fairly cheap, and so keen is the appetite for reading material that often entire editions sell out overnight. Russians enjoy many Western authors, among them Charles Dickens, Ernest Hemingway, Jack London. But the government enforces rigid censorship. No Soviet reader sees Life magazine, the New York Times, or the London Observer. Nearly every large city has its own permanent one-ring circus. Affluent, there's the ballet. And almost everywhere there are amateur folk dance groups, perhaps organized by a local trade union to help celebrate such outstanding events as this year's corn harvest. The Soviet Union even reserves a place for pop culture, provided it is free from decadent Western influences. Russia maintains countless museums, most of them inherited from Tsarist days. Admission is either free or nominal, and attendance is always good. Soviet Russia's chief monument is the Kremlin, long the seat of the central government and Communist Party, now a vast historical museum. Each year, thousands of tourists travel from all parts of the Soviet Union to see the capital, wander through Red Square, stand in line for the Lenin Mausoleum. Dedicated party members, as well as casual sightseers, come to pay homage at the graves of famous Bolsheviks, including Stalin's modest plaque. And here, too, they find remnants of Russia's Tsarist past. The tedious, bleak Russian winter makes summer vacation an altogether serious matter. Some of the Soviet Union's most popular vacation spots are resorts on the Black Sea, which Russians call sanatoria. Here some 2 million visitors, largely upper class and elite, undertake a regimen of exercise, regulated sunbathing, and dieting. Since most Soviet women work, it is not uncommon for husbands and wives to vacation separately. For those who can afford it, travel beyond Soviet borders is limited almost entirely to Eastern European countries like Romania and Bulgaria. Here the vacationing Russian may find a few unfamiliar luxuries: better food, new accommodations, sandy beaches. Foreign travel, even a group tour to Hungary, is for the present a luxury enjoyed by a select few. Will increasing leisure someday bring such privileges to the ordinary citizen? The implications of leisure time in Russia remain uncertain. The state still strives to dominate its citizens' non-working hours. But Russians are beginning to discover that leisure is also a time for realizing personal goals and private aspirations.
So, the International Film Foundation and Julian Bryan have made quite a few really fascinating films, kind of looking at different cultures and kind of the day in the life of lots of different places and people. And Julian Bryan was in the 40s, I think maybe 30s, 40s, was going to the Soviet Union a lot. He had a lot of connections there with people. And he actually got investigated by Congress as far as was he a Russian sympathizer by making these films showing Russians as people as opposed to showing them as the enemy or as communists who potentially were going to bring down the United States. He eventually he just kept doing what he was doing, and that film was made, as you saw, in the 60s. So, was it the 60s? Maybe 70s. 67? I can't, or 76, I can't remember. Anyways, love showing stuff like this. And I know what you're thinking. I'm not playing enough films that have songs in them. So, this next film will remedy that problem. So here's The Lines Are Fun.
see curved lines in water. Lines can be on anything. I can make a slanted line. I see cracked lines on our sidewalk. I see curved lines at the beach. I can make lines out of using paint. I see crooked lines on the buildings. Straight lines. A zigzag line. Lines on the railroad track. Or on the street. I can make a circle. People can make lines by just fooling around.
Lines are fun. Look around, up and down, straight and round. Lines are fun. Look around, up and down, straight and round. Lines are fun. Lines are fun. Lines are fun. Anywhere on the ground, in the air. Lines are fun. Lines are fun.
Yikes. You guys and all the drug references. I know kids are watching this, but hopefully they're not reading the comments. Or they don't understand what it means. Wow, what a wonderful, slow-paced film. Catchy song. I apologize ahead of time for you, as you fall asleep tonight, humming that song in your head. Or maybe I'm not sorry. I don't know. You gotta put those things in there. I've had this horrible Pink Floyd song going in my head for the last couple of days from that album, The Final Cut, and I cannot get it out. And I really don't like that record. So maybe Lines Are Fun is going to be the way to knock it out. Anyways, we're showing some films about a variety of different subjects. It's all kind of a mishmash depending on how I feel. But we always try to show something about food or related to food. And this one is actually about lunch. Supergoop, certainly, maybe you could have cereal for lunch. I don't know. But this is definitely about lunchtime and lunchtime manners. It's actually funny. I have several films on lunchroom etiquette and how to behave in the lunchroom because obviously that was a point of failure when it came to disciplining school kids. You get a bunch of school kids who've been trying to sit patiently in their desks for hours. They go into this giant room that's loud, and they see their friends, and they go nuts. So this is a film that tries to hedge that. This is a remake of Lunchroom Beginning Responsibility, Lunchroom Manners, which featured Mr. Bungle. This is one. It features a strike. It actually shows a food fight, which I think is problematic, and I'll tell you why later. But here's Lunchroom Goes Bananas. Enjoy.
And now, a PBTV News Special.
Good day. Wendell Walters and Morgan the Rat here. This is the day we've all been waiting for. The eyes of the world are on the students of Plumcrest School as they wait the outcome of the strange and unbelievable events that began just 2 weeks ago. Because PBTV feels this is such an important story, we present this short recap. Roll the tape. Tape is rolling. It all began 2 Fridays ago. It was a gray and rainy morning. Can I get going? Hey, Robin. What's going to be? Do you guys know what's going on around here? No! Lunchroom's locked. Your lunchroom's locked? Your lunchroom's locked?
I'm hungry.
We're doing the best we can. We're trying to find out what's going on.
And you don't know who's locked you out of the lunchroom?
No!
Let's go on in. Yeah, okay. PBTV News here. Could you identify yourself and tell us what's going on?
Yes, I'm Miss Mitchell, but I don't know exactly what's going on. I'm real hungry, but the lunchroom's locked. We got out and came out for lunch.
Why would anyone want to lock up the lunchroom?
I don't know. No explanations, no nothing. It's never happened before.
Mr. Frankfurter's downstairs right now, trying to work things out. If when he gets back, I'm sure everything will be all right.
But we want lunch now. No!
I'm hungry, too.
Pardon me, I'm Ralph Frankfurter, the principal. May I help you, gentlemen?
Well, thank you, Mr. Frankfurter. Would you care to comment on the problem here?
Problem? What problem?
Well, we understand you've been locked out of your lunchroom.
Oh, that. That's not a problem. As far as I'm concerned, that's the best thing that's happened all year.
I don't think I understand.
Well, about that lunchroom. That lunchroom has become the biggest problem in this whole school. It isn't even a fit place to eat, the way these kids carry on in there.
That's a pretty serious charge. Would you care to elaborate?
Yes. I'll put it this way. Every day we work hard to try to prepare that lunchroom for lunch. To make it a clean, orderly, quiet place. And then the lunch bell rings. I don't care who locked up the cafeteria or what. As far as I'm concerned, it can stay closed until...
What is it?
They want you.
Who wants me?
The food wants you.
The food wants me?
Yes.
In the cafeteria?
Yes.
See, this, okay, come on, you guys.
You're over there, but I'm not going back in there.
Oh, the press is here. Glad you could come. Come on out, boys. We've got a problem. This lunchroom has become a terrible place to eat. We used to be happy. Show 'em, boys. And just look at us now. We're down in the mouth. Some of us have been reduced to tears. A few of us have even gone mad.
Finito, out of business.
We've had it.
Throwing.
Running.
Shouting. Wasting.
We quit.
The lunchroom is miserable. And until there's some respect around here, we're on a strike. We hereby announce the first official food strike in the history of Plumcrest.
Oh, come on. You'd certainly go on strike if you were treated indecently, wouldn't you?
I'm sure we can change. Stick around a couple of weeks and you'll see we can change. I think we can change. I think we can all change. Just give us a chance.
Well, I don't know. Can we throw it on?
Can we trust them?
Well, I don't know. What do you think?
If we talk it over as a class, we can probably change a little bit.
Well, I don't know. What do you think, boys?
Could be.
What more? I don't want to. Maybe.
2 weeks, and not a day longer.
There you have it, friends. Unbelievable but true. Experts have viewed the videotape and have no explanation for talking food. And now the food is threatening to strike. Well, it was clear to students at Plumcrest that they had a big job ahead of them, but they were determined. Our news team stayed close to the story.
If we don't do something about the cafeteria, the food is going to quit.
I don't know what happened down in the cafeteria the other day, but I see a lot of problems down there. Do you see anything happening in the cafeteria that bothers you, Isaac?
People are just taking the food and throwing it away. If they don't want the lunch, they don't even take it and leave it on the table for somebody else to eat it. They're wasting food.
What else is happening that you see in the cafeteria, Bridget?
They're taking food out of the cafeteria and squishing it.
Squishing it. Are there any other problems that you see happening down there, Lucy?
There's running in the cafeteria and they can get hurt that way.
Serena?
Shouting, it's really irritating. I can't digest my food very well.
When it's very noisy, I agree with you. It's hard. Sarah?
People littering in the cafeteria.
People littering in the cafeteria, so not cleaning up after themselves? What else? Alisa?
There's people throwing food at each other.
People throwing food in the cafeteria. What do we think about that? Look. What can we do about the problem of running that we were talking about in the cafeteria? Travis?
We can set a good example for people.
Good. By doing what? Zoe?
Well, if you knew the person, you could ask them nicely to stop running.
You could ask them nicely. Good. Serena?
If somebody runs in the cafeteria, they don't get a lunch for a day.
Does anyone else have any ideas about what we can do to help? Aries?
I think we can make posters and hang them up in the cafeteria.
Do another one.
What? Don't be a slob. Don't be a slob. Have the pink one. Don't be a slob. I'll give you the face. Don't wait. Yellow. Face, don't wait. Face, don't wait. Walk. Don't run. Walk. Don't run. Walk. Don't run.
We're back at Plumcrest School talking to the children who are trying to improve their lunchroom. And they're here and they've made these signs, and I'm going to talk to a few of them. Hello there, what's your name?
Lydia.
And that's a very pretty sign, and you guys are going to put this up and try to improve the lunchroom so the food doesn't go on strike?
Yeah.
Yes. And what's your name?
Anthony.
You're probably in charge of putting all the signs up, right?
No.
Oh, you're not. Hello there. Did you help with the signs?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your name?
Dinah.
These are very pretty signs. Would you put them up for me? Put them up on the wall?
It's just nice to eat when there's not so much noise.
I'm back at Plumcrest Elementary School 2 weeks later, surveying if the lunchroom problem has been solved. And frankly, from here, it looks pretty good.
I thought we could make it better, but this is great. I think it's great, too. Me too.
But Morgan, that's not the end of our story. Because the last word here belongs to the food. Will they or will they not strike? For the answer, we switch you to our remote cameras at Plumcrest School.
Strike? Not us. Now that the kids have shaped up, we're happy as can be. But remember, no fighting and throwing. Keep it at a walk. Don't waste. And enjoy your food.
So, yeah, that film was nuts. It's like I said, it was a kind of a revision of a film called Beginning Responsibility, Lunchroom Manners, which features Mr. Bungle. It shows a puppet misbehaving, and then kids not misbehaving and actually modeling good behavior because they didn't want to be like Mr. Bungle. So one of the things that Coronet, the people at Coronet did is they were very careful not to show bad behavior with films from the 50s and 60s. They wanted to show good behavior so that students watching the film would model good behavior. And the fact of showing a kid and showing kids having food fights and like freaking out in the lunchroom is actually, it's kind of sketchy, because kids could latch onto that and say like, ooh, that looks like fun. And they could actually do, I'm sorry, I'm putting socks on. They could actually do a food fight because they saw it and they saw how much fun it was, because kids were laughing and they're having a good time and food is flying. So it's kind of this thing. It's just almost like drug films. Drug films can show the dangers of drugs, but also can introduce kids to, wow, there's this new thing called marijuana, and it actually looks really cool. So maybe I should try it. I've seen a film about that, so maybe I'll try that. Yeah, it's always been the kind of the difficulty with showing films like this. So I actually, for a essay that I wrote, or a chapter I wrote in a book, I actually reached out to some of the filmmakers, and I was like, all right, what's the deal with that rat on the kid's shoulder? Because that is, everybody's eyeballs went to that. And I'm sure kids watching it were like, why does that kid have a rat on his shoulder? What's going on? Supposedly that was the kid's rat, and he just wanted to show it, and they let him do it. And the filmmakers were talking about that they were brought on to these to revise these films to make them a little bit more hip and more interesting for modern day viewers, modern day being in the 70s. And so they updated things and wrote things, and supposedly the first script or the first edit that they did, the people at Coronet were like, no. So they had to scale it way back. And so there was that, again, it's like, how do you get kids involved and interested, especially when they go home and they watch a lot of television that is super excited, super interesting plots. The editing is frenetic. How do you deal with that? And so educational filmmakers had to up the ante. It wasn't like in the 40s where, a kid would maybe see a film on the weekend, or maybe once a month, or once a couple of months. Having a film projector in the room, it was like, wow, I get to see this visual thing. That's a novelty in itself, and then I'm entranced by what I'm seeing, these moving images. That wasn't carrying any weight in the 60s and 70s, really, and so they had to kind of figure out a way to make things more interesting. All right, there's me blathering on. What time is it? Wow, I've burned through a lot of films here. I have one film set up for the end, but I think I want to show something else before I show that film. And I want to see, what do I got? Speaking of television, yeah, I can show this. This is a early film about how television is good for us, made in the 50s. And it features Wink Martindale. So here is Television Serves the Community. Enjoy.
Inside a television station, everyone is busy working on programs of entertainment, public events, and information. All programs must be scheduled ahead. Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock, there will be a news roundup. At 2 o'clock, a musical program. And at 3, a holiday parade. This is the story of these 3 programs. They all begin with planning. Monday, 6 days before the musical show, the writer meets with the program manager. For this Sunday's big number, they're planning a polka dance. The writer puts their ideas into a script describing sound and picture. From the finished script, the director plans the actual performance. It will be in this studio. He plans the dance in a mountain village setting, starting with a special house. Further planning is done for the sets, the costumes, and the music. The program costs are added up and listed in a budget. The station itself pays for some programs. For others, the program manager gets the budget money from a sponsor. Sponsors use television to advertise their products, such as meat. The program manager believes the advertiser will buy the musical program if the price is all right. By Wednesday afternoon, the planning of the musical show is complete. On Thursday, the remote truck, a television station on wheels, is prepared to cover the holiday parade. 3 days before the Sunday show, the parade route is checked on a map. The big color cameras are tested. The parade plans and equipment are ready. The news director and staff begin preparing their program on Friday. By teletype machine, they receive national news. With cameramen and reporters, they cover local news. Unexpected emergency events are handled by fast-moving equipment such as this telecopter, a flying television unit. In the station's film library, background news film is chosen. The Sunday news roundup is almost ready. By Friday afternoon, the musical costumes have been fitted. In the station's carpenter shop, the set is being built. In the studio, the polka dance is rehearsed. The choreographer is in charge of the dance. All the movements are designed by the choreographer to show up well on the television screen. He guides the dancers through every step of the rehearsal. Saturday afternoon, the remote truck leaves for the parade area. Early Sunday, the last check of equipment. The crowd and the cameras are ready and waiting. At the same moment, in the musical show studio, everyone is making final preparations. lights are controlled from a booth overlooking the stage. The director shows the star how to open the show. The director helps actors play their parts well. Next, he rehearses the commercial. The director controls the rehearsal from the control booth in 3 ways. First, by headphone.
Camera, sound.
The camera's all set, Bill.
You know how some sausage is always rosy fresh? And
Second, by loudspeaker.
Cut it. Tom, hold off
at the start. I don't want you to pick up the package of sausage until you say, well, our
And third, through an assistant.
Cue him again.
Hi. You know how
The
some
announcer
sausage
reads
is
from a
always
prompter,
rosy fresh,
and his voice
and
is
some
picked up by a
sausage in the
microphone.
store looks kind of gray? That's because it's been
His
shipped
picture
in
enters
store.
the camera through the
Our
lens.
sausage is made fresh every day from fresh
The
dressing.
cameraman sees the picture on the back of the
That's why
camera.
our sausage is always rosy fresh, and folks are wild
By
about it.
flipping lenses,
It's made
the camera
in our
shows a
own
wider
sausage-making establishment.
or a closer picture.
Only the best Eastern meat goes into this lean, juicy sausage. Just wait till you sizzle up a
The director has special viewers called monitors.
It's made in our own sausage-making establishment. Only the best Eastern meat goes into this lean, juicy sausage. Try it tomorrow. Rosy fresh at your store.
Are the dancers ready? Cue the music.
Also rehearsing are the 2 cameramen. On the control booth monitors, both
camera
cameras'
2.
pictures are seen below. The one of them televised at the moment is also seen above. The director
Camera one,
chooses
put
camera
down.
1
Move
or
left
camera
one.
2 by pushing a button.
Take 2. Stand by 1. Take 1. Take 2.
A red light shows the camera chosen.
Hold it there, 1. Ready, 1. Take 1. Flip out 2. Ready, 2. Take 2. That's it, hold it, all 4. Now move in.
While camera 2 shows all 4 dancers, camera 1 moves in to pick up a pair of them. 2 cameras help keep the program varied and interesting.
Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, camera 2. Take 2. Move in 1.
The rehearsal ends. The performers get ready for the actual show. At the same time, in the film room, the background news film is put on a movie projector. At 1 o'clock, the weekend news roundup goes on the air. This news report is one of the programs paid for by the station as a community service. The background film runs in the film room. The movie projector shines directly into a television camera. While the film is on the air, the news director gets a flash. A house is burning down. The news director alerts the recording room. This videotape recorder will record both picture and sound on magnetic tape. The telecounter camera is very small. The news program is interrupted and the fire goes directly on the air. At the same time, it is tape recorded for later news programs. In 5 minutes, the news will end and the musical will start. The last touch of makeup is applied. Makeup helps people look natural on the screen. The studio lights are warmed up. The news program is ending.
KTLA TV 5. Stand by. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and cue music.
Booga parade!
The star opens the show just as he rehearsed. Engineers keep constant check on the picture and sound. From the station, the program goes to a transmitter and through the air into people's homes.
Get some and try it tomorrow, won't you? Rosy Fresh at your store.
The show is almost over. The stage is quickly changed for the big number.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tom.
Now all the planning and rehearsing are put to the test.
Cue music. Move left one. Ready two, take two, flip in one, hold a couple. Ready one, and take one, and two. Ready one, take one. Ready two, and take two.
Just as the musical ends, the parade program begins. Television is always busy, bringing information, public events, and entertainment to its community.
Wow, that was a magical time. I think it was like 1960 when that film came out. But Wink Martindale, I mean, some of you people probably have no idea who Wink Martindale is, but he used to host the game show Tic-Tac-Doe. And he's also in a film that I have called Year 1999 AD, a Ford Philco film that looks at what the future is going to be like in 1999 and gets it amazingly correct. I like this film because it shows what local television did as far as local programming. It's a magical time because there were lots of local programs. That each TV station would have maybe its own kids show. It would have its own movie horror show. It would have its own game shows like Dialing for Dollars or Bowling for Dollars. It would have sometimes would have teen dance things where people would listen to records and dance, which is what eventually became American Bandstand. There would be musicians, there would be all this local stuff. It was really quite an amazing time. And most of that has gone away, unfortunately. Anyways, thanks so much, everybody, for coming in and joining us for lunch. If you like what you saw, you can donate here at Patreon, or better yet, just tell friends and family what we do every day, every time at lunch, 1 p.m. On weekdays. I will take weekends off, but I'll just keep doing this until we get back to some semblance of normal lives. And I have lots of films to share, and I love sharing them with folks like you, and I enjoy the comments and seeing the names that I know and the names that I'm learning. And so thank you so much for this. It gives me an opportunity to do something and schedule my day and take a shower. So thank you for that. I have one last film I'm going to show, and this will be out for the day. This one I've shown a lot. Some of you new viewers have not seen this, but this is an amazing film made in the 70s. I talked earlier about the film Lines Are Fun, which has a great song that you can sing along to. This next film has lots of songs you can sing along to, and it teaches you how to use the telephone. There are two versions of this film. One was made in the 40s, featuring marionettes. This one, it features people in odd costumes and is so good. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys enjoy this. Hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow. Some of you have seen this before, roll with it. But here's Telezonia. Enjoy.
You didn't have to run, Joe. We'd have saved some ants for you. Hey, Joe, you want some ants? Where are you supposed to going? Picnics. Ants go to picnics, my grandmother says. Picnics at Rudolph Park. Today, my uncle take us. The free rides, free passes for rides. The roller coaster, the Dodger, free rides, got passes from Carson's Hardware. Way to go! Can I bring my sister? Sure. My uncle says a man can take. My mom's making sandwiches when she knows how many are going. I'll go up and ask my mom if it's all right. I'll tell her Greenberg. And Sandy, I'll ask Sandy. I'll go get my sister. My uncle wants to leave us soon as he can, so hurry. Hey, everybody, I thought of something. Why don't you come to our place and telephone? We'll telephone instead of running. Great idea. Let's go. Thanks a lot, Larry. Folks always use the phone when they need it. It's faster. Sure beats running. Lisa, you go. I don't think Ellie can go today. Joe, you try. That's okay. Pa can go ahead of me. I'll call home.
My mother doesn't like me to use other people's phones. You get my mother on the phone, and I'll tell you what to say.
Oh, I remember. I hurt my finger. So do you want to try calling Sandy? I don't know how. I've never learned a phone. Me neither. Do you, Lisa?
Come on, we can still make it if we run. Not our phone isn't good for anything anyway.
Look at the phone. It's like magic.
Where your friends can hear it. Put your voice in the phone, let the telephone steer it. Send your voice across the miles. Cheerful words are like friendly smiles.
Wow, it looks like a tunnel. Where do you think it goes? Who do you think is in there? Come on. Yeah. Give me a hand. Up to it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Telly.
Put your voice where your friends can hear it. Put your voice in the phone, let the telephone steer it. Send your voice across the miles. Cheerful words are like friendly smiles. Greet your pals in distant places. Pleasant voices, happy faces. Pleasant voices, happy faces.
Let's fly. Follow me.
Wow! Wow, we're flying! This is fun!
Rest stop, everybody. Rest stop. Can't fly the whole day long, you know.
Better than a roller coaster. Yeah!
Now, let's take a look down there. That's one of our telephone company crews at work. In the center of big cities, where there are lots of telephones, the wires go underground. The two men are connecting new wires. The woman is a supervisor who helps them and makes sure the work is done properly.
Bye!
Now, we've still got a ways to go, so let's up and away.
But where are we going?
Telezonia.
Is that near Chicago? Will we be in time for lunch?
We'll be there soon.
Wow!
There's something I want you to see. These are some of the people who speak for the telephone company. The operators. When you talk to the operator, you talk to a real person.
Please deposit 45 cents for the first 3 minutes.
Thank you for waiting. Go ahead, please.
Deposite 70 centavos por los...
And the operator helps you by giving you information.
That area code is 212, sir. I'm sorry.
And by connecting you to phones and to people you can't get by yourself.
Thank you, sir. Your party's on the line now. Go ahead, please.
You also talk to the operator in an emergency.
I'll connect you with the fire department right away.
Time to go, folks. Everybody.
But where are we going?
Telezonia is just down the line.
We're slowing down. Are we there? Is this Telezonia?
Not yet. There's someone else I'd like you to meet. Say hello to an old friend. Telephone company installer. Installers put in new telephones or take them out when you move. And if something needs fixing, they're the ones who come along to fix it for you.
Hi!
Hi.
Okay, folks, next stop, Telezonia.
There's no handle.
Wait a minute, folks. Here's my magic spell. Stand back, everybody. Franklin, Faraday, Watson, Bell. Open, Telezonia. Put us under your spell.
Hey, look!
Or here, Joe. Let's go, group. We've got a date at the Phonomat. This is a special place in Telezonia where we put telephones together. Now, there are many different kinds of phones in use in our country today. There's the typical business phone.
There's one like that in the office where my mother works.
There's the wall telephone.
We have one like that in our kitchen wall.
The trimline phone.
My aunt has one like that.
And there's several others. And they each have the same kind of parts. A mouthpiece.
To talk into.
An earpiece.
We're listening.
a round dial or push button, so that you can get the number you want. And wires and circuits and a bell inside.
They make the telephone work.
And a case to hold it all. Now, on the case, there's a cradle, so that you can rest the handset when it's not in use. It's very important the phone handset always be in its cradle when it's not being used.
Or else your friends will not be able to call you. Why are telephones in different colors? What do the colors mean?
They're just pretty colors to match the colors of your house. But regardless of the color, they all work the same way.
Are we going to use the telephone while we're in telezonia? Yeah!
Certainly! Come on, let's do that right now. How many of you would like to become full-fledged citizens of telezonia? Raise your hands.
Yeah!
Here's the first requirement. You must know how to answer the telephone properly. Who knows just how that's done? Come on, speak up, speak up. Phone's ringing. It should be answered.
Do we have some questions here? And do we need some answers? How do you answer the phone? Is that a good question, or is it not? Let me see if I can answer it for you. Pick up the phone as soon as it rings. Speak out your name, or answer with things like, hello, good morning, this is Bill. Pick up the phone as soon as it rings. Then you will know what message it brings. Now can you do it? Pick up the phone as soon as it rings. Speak out your name, or answer with things like,
hello, Lisa talking.
pick up the phone as soon as it rings. Then you will know what message it brings. Do you want to be next? Pick up the phone as soon as it rings. Speak out your name, or answer with things like,
good morning, this is Larry.
pick up the phone as soon as it rings. Then you will know what message it brings. Would you like to be next? Everybody sing. Pick up the phone as soon as it rings. Speak out your name, or answer with things like, who's that?
Joe, look what you've done. That's not the right way to answer.
All right, hello, this is Joe. Way to go, Joe.
Don't forget, if there's a telephone number for someone to call, be sure to write it down. Can you remember to write it down? Can you remember to write it down? Can you remember to write it down? And can you remember to write it down?
Over here, everybody. I want to show you something. Now, this is just like the dial on the telephone, except, of course, it's very much larger, and all the numbers and letters are mixed up. But I'm going to ask you to put them all in the right places. And you can use this phone right here as a guide.
But what for?
I knew you'd ask. It's like this.
You have to know your letters and your numbers up to 9. To call a friend who's at the other end of the line. You have to know your numbers and your letters from A to Z. To use the telephone and the telephone directory.
You have to know your numbers and your letters from A to Z. To use the telephone and the telephone directory.
You have to know your letters and your numbers up to 9. To call a friend who's at the other end of the line. You have to know your numbers and your letters from A to Z. To use the telephone and the telephone directory.
Everybody sing.
You have to know your numbers and your letters from A to Z. To use the telephone and the telephone directory.
Yeah, I got 2 letters with 2 same O's. And I got 2 eyes.
Joe, your O's are different. Now, this round letter O goes right here after the N. And that tall number 0 for operator goes right here after the 9. Be sure you remember the difference. And Lisa, that number 1 goes right in the first circle. And that I goes right after what?
H.
Right. There you are.
I don't think the telephone company is very smart. He doesn't even know the alphabet. Some of the letters are missing.
Missing? Missing? There are letters missing? Well, how do you know?
I counted. There's only 24.
Yeah.
Well, who knows what letters are missing?
Q, there's no Q, the T, and the T, and the I. Right. And the Z is in here at the end. The Q and Z are missing, all right.
We're not missing.
We're just not on the dial. But we're in the telephone directory, and you'll use us in a while. Here are all the country's telephone directories. Telephone books, we call them. Almost every telephone number is listed here. If you want to call anyone at all, just look up the number in the book for the city where the person lives.
Now, here's how to find a name. Now listen closely. All the names are always listed in order, like the alphabet. Now, if the last name begins with the letter A, like Adams, Anderson, Atkins, and so on, well, you'd find it in front of the book. It would then be followed by those names beginning with the letter B, and then all the C's, all the D's, and so on through the alphabet. Right? Okay. Now, which name would come first in the book? Smith or Thompson?
Smith!
And would you find Wallace towards the back of the white pages or the front?
Back!
Good. Now, listen closely. All of the names that start with the same letter, like Adams, Anderson, Atkins, for example, are found in the A section. But to know exactly how to get there, you gotta know the second letter in each name. A.D. Adams comes before A.N. Anderson. A.N. Anderson comes before A.T. Atkins.
But what about people like Baker and Bass? They both start with B.A.
Right, Paul. And how do you decide which is first?
Go to the next letter, I guess.
Good. B.A.K. Baker comes before B.A.T. Bates because...
Because K comes before T in the alphabet.
Right.
Simple, isn't it? You've just learned how to find names and words alphabetically. It works the same in the telephone book, and in the dictionary, and in the encyclopedia, and in lots of other books. Come on.
Wait a minute. Here's 2 names exactly the same. John Mason, John Mason.
Do they live at the same place?
No, one is on Elm Street, the other is on River Road.
Well, that's how you know they're not the same. Now, when you look up a name in the phone book, make sure you know, too, where the person lives.
In the front of every phone book is lots of useful information. How to call the sheriff, the fire department, the police, what number to call to have your phone repaired, and how much it costs to call outside your city.
But how do I find the number of my school?
Well, schools are usually listed first by the name of your city or county, and then alphabetically by name.
Look, some of these pages are yellow.
In the yellow pages, the telephone numbers are listed according to various businesses. You can find accountants, barbers, ice cream makers, movie theaters, plumbers, toy stores, any business with a phone. They're listed alphabetically by business in the yellow pages. Take your time. Practice looking up friends or people you or your parents know in business. Write down their numbers and keep a list of the ones you use most often.
Hey, here's Ellen Greenberg's number. She lives down the street from me on the Zoo Park. I know her father's name's Albert.
Oh, what's her number?
555-0926. Can I call her? We wanted to go on a picnic with her. That's right, we want to call our friends.
Okay.
I think I found Sandy's number.
Good.
And I want to call home.
Okay, then. Let's go.
Yeah!
Hey, kids, over here!
are definitely, positively, absolutely going to learn to make a call. Right now, pick up the handset, that's the first part. Listen for the tone, and then start. Put your finger in the circle of the number you need. Turn the dial to the right with a little bit of speed. Turn the dial to the right till your finger goes no more. Take your finger out, it'll go to where it was before. And when you've finished all the numbers, you'll hear it ring. That's how you do the telephone thing. Okay, you first. Got your number? Make your call and be sure to wait for at least 10 rings for someone to answer me before you hang up. Of course, use this phone with a touch-tone dial. It's easy. Instead of a round dial, there are buttons. Just push each button in turn. Let's try. Pick up the handset, that's the first part. Listen for the tone. And then start. Push the button down with the number you want. Throw the button by the letters if the letters are in front. And when you've finished all the numbers, you'll hear it ring. That's how you do the telephone thing.
There's a funny noise.
Well, that's the busy signal. It means somebody else is using the line. Hang up, wait a while, and try again. Meanwhile, you use this instrument here. It's a payphone. Got any coins in your pocket? Give it a try.
Need some help? Young fella. Here's a couple of coins. So you can make your call. This is a public telephone that you have to pay to use. Like paying admission to the movie.
It's not like a vending machine.
You don't get any change back.
You must have the right coins.
Lift the handset.
Drop the coins right into the slot.
Listen for the tone before you start. Put your finger in the circle of the number you need. Turn the dial to the right with a little bit of speed. Turn the dial to the right till your finger goes no more. Take your finger out, the dial will go to where it was before. And when you're finished all the numbers, you'll hear it ring. That's how you do the telephone thing.
Hi, Sandy. This is Joe. Want to go on a picnic with us? Good. Be at Larry's house as quick as you can. Great. Bye. Can I make my call now?
Sure. Use this phone here.
Are you ready? Put your finger in the circle of the number you need. Turn the dial to the right with a little bit of speed. Turn the dial to the right till your finger goes no more. Take your finger out, the dial will go to where it was before. And when you're finished all the numbers, you'll hear it ring. That's how you do the telephone thing.
Hello, Mom. May I go on a picnic with Joe and his uncle? Sis can come, too. Have her go to Larry's house right away. Goodbye.
Wait! Stop! I got to say goodbye! I can go!
We better call for help. Here's some coins. Put them in. Dial 0 for operator and report an emergency.
We have an emergency. There's been an accident. The ex-mason has fallen and hurt himself. Send help, please.
Now, tell them who you are and where you are.
This is Joe Armstrong, and we're in the main square of telezonia. The operator wants to know our number.
It's right in the center of the round dial, or if you're calling from a touch-tone dial, it's right at the bottom of the keyboard.
555-2368. Well, bye.
Now stay by the phone in case they call back for more information and for better directions.
Stick out your tongue. How do you feel?
Much better, Doc.
He's all right now.
Good going, crew. Public phones should never be played with or damaged, because you never know. Someone might want to make a call to help you someday. I almost forgot. As a reward for your service, I hereby make you all honorary citizens of Telezonia. And issue you each a passport, good for any time for proper use of the telephone. Hey, now you better be going, or you'll miss your picnic. Bye-bye! Take care of yourself.
Come on, let's go. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Sis. Hi, Sandy. Hurry up, Joe. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Larry, can I use you? Hello, Mom. This is Joe. Yeah, Uncle Ed is here. But I gotta ask you something really important. What are we having for dinner tonight? Oh, that. Oh well, what else are we having? Well, can I eat supper with Uncle Ed? Gee, thanks, Mom. Bye.
Put your voice where your friends can hear it. Put your voice in the phone, let the telephone steer it. Send your voice across the miles. Cheerful words are like friendly smiles. Greet your pals in distant places. Pleasant voices happy.
Thank you, AT&T, for that. Telezonia, so good. I've shown this film a lot, and I actually have friends in Los Angeles who live near the house that the kids kind of convene at. And my dream is to actually show the film at that house. And then maybe find some of the actors. That would be great too. Robert Towers, who played Telly, was in a lot of things. He was one of the Banana Splits. He was in the costume. He didn't actually do the voice. And then later on, he did a lot of other roles. He was in Benjamin Button. He played an old version of, or young version of Benjamin Button. He also was in a episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He plays a demented or perverse jockey. I was very delighted to see him in that, because it was well after I was showing Telezonia and sharing it with people. So look up Robert Towers on IMDb. Last time I looked him up, he was doing On Golden Pond in LA as a dinner theater. So I'm hoping he's still around. He was really amazingly creepy in this film. All right, so I will see everybody tomorrow, lunchtime. Thanks again for coming out, and we'll see you soon.